Aus Tebza might have started on a slump last year, but things picked up for her, so much so that this year started off on a high note. The bass guitarist, singer, arranger and session musician has released her album titled Motheo. This offering had to be pushed back by a year due to the virus and the lockdown that left most artists bare. She joins us now this morning to share more on the release. Aus Tebza, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. I'm so excited to be talking with you.
I know, right? It's so good to have you on the show this morning, Aus Tebza. And the last time we spoke, you had planned for the album to be released at the Cape Town Jazz Festival. Unfortunately, things didn't go according to plan. Just fill us in on what happened.
The pandemic happened. I think we spoke about a month or two before it happened.
Yes.
The album was meant to be released at the Cape Town Jazz Festival, as you mentioned, but because, we were on level 5 lockdown, there was no way, I could finish the album because I had only started recording the music. I hadn't done the voices, I hadn't done the arrangement, and, a whole year, everything had to be, on hold. Yeah.
Now, how did this compilation come about, Aus Tebza?
When I released my first album, Make a Difference, I wanted people to experience where I was at that moment, to say, here I am as an artist, as a singer and bass player, mostly as a bass player who can arrange and write music. But with this album, I was so intentional in putting it together because I wanted people to actually know who and where I come from. So when you listen to the offering, it's more of a sound that really influenced who I am as a musician. The music tells a story of where I started, where I come from, people that influence. You can pick it up from the style of music, and also just being intentional with the language, as the album is 100% Setswana. And I wanted people to know that Aus Tebza ke Motswana. So I just wanted to share my story and let people into who I am.
Okay. Let's talk about the album. What really puts you in the zone to create great music?
I think it's just honoring the gift in me and the passion I have, of sharing stories and also being used as a vessel. I get inspired by how we are as people. I get inspired as an artist who likes creating by telling stories that really affect our daily lives. I mean, if you listen to this new album, it addresses issues that we are actually going through as a people, especially as a nation in South Africa, where there's a song that addresses gender-based violence issues. There's a song that addresses, this dilapidated family structures that we have all over the country. So I just get inspired by our stories, and thank God I am a musician and I'm able to translate and relate that.
Yeah, and you know what, Sis Tebza, I mean, I've been saying this to everyone who cares to listen, that the emotion that you bring to your songs is really deep. So to what extent is your music inspired by your own personal experiences?
Yes. Most of the songs that I've written, they come from personal experiences, be it something that happened to me directly or to people around me. Because I believe it's very important as an artist, as a creative, not to just create from things that do not exist, because you want people to engage, you want people to understand and to connect. So it's important that you also pour out who you are, so that people can be able to say, oh, whatever that I'm going through, it's okay, because there is somebody else who's going through that. So it gives me, comfort that I might also get through it or over it. So it's very important that when you are writing, you write from a space of truth.
Sure.
And reality as well.
Indeed. And just how important was it for you to raise the gender-based violence issue and the deterioration of family structures in this offering?
I think it's given. Just being a woman already says, you might be next. You might be next. And it is a very scary and overwhelming feeling to know that you could be surrounded by people that are supposed to be protecting you, that could actually harm you in turn. So it is important also, as not just as women. I think if it comes more out of men, to say we are enough of this, it would add more. It would have more substance and depth. So for me, it's important to say, as a woman, this is how I feel, and I should be given a platform. Thank God to music that I do have that platform to raise that. It's not even an issue. It's just it's wrong. It's not supposed to be happening. And for me to be able to have a song that addresses that, really, I hope it opens, doors and platforms where we could sit down and not just talk but act. So yeah.
Aus Tebza, artists approach every project with certain expectations, such as to establish a legacy, such as to explore a new creative direction, or even just to pay the bills. So what do you seek to achieve with Motheo?
To pay the bills. But more importantly, to create a legacy and to create a platform where people would feel safe to connect. I always say, I hope that people will have more connection and engagement when listening to my music, more than thinking of it as an escape. Because we like saying that, I'm listening to music to have an escape. But for me, I would like us to engage, because we tend to want to shy away from things that matter, matters that we go through, and we want to not address them. I think it's important for us to be healed, to be healthy as a human. As a person, we need to address issues not only that affect us externally, but also internally. So my music is more of, going inside and seeking the truth. So I hope people will take that from this album, Motheo.
All right, Sis Tebza, thank you so much for chatting to us. Continue dazzling and mesmerizing us, and continue melting our eardrums with those mellow and soothing sounds. We love it. We really, really do.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, great stuff. Do have a great day now. Okay, with its uncertainty and gloom, the year 2021 looks to be quite promising. Some form of light and positivity for bass player Aus Tebza. Her long-awaited second album, titled Motheo, was recently launched.